is being recorded. Okay, you should hear that little voice. It is so wonderful to see you all today. And, I am really, really excited to spend the next couple hours with you. We are going to make this as engaging and fun as we can. There will be some times where you need to just sit and listen. There will also be some times when you will participate. One of the things we will do soon is play a Kahoot. So if you don't know how to do that, I will explain. But a lot of you probably do know how, so you should get ready for that, right? Get ready, have your thumbs ready to be competitive. My name is Dr. Lynch. I am the chair of the honors program. I've had the pleasure of speaking with some of you. Some of you I don't know at all. And in case it's not obvious, one of the things that brings me joy is being with you and meeting a new group of honor students, because in all the time I've been the chair of the honors program and teaching in the honors program, one of the things that is clear to me is that you are the coolest people. And I really love learning from you and spending time with you and getting to know you. So welcome. I'm so, so glad you're here for the Draper Honors Program orientation for fall 2021, okay? This is, as I mentioned, being recorded. We will send the link out to you of the recording so that if you missed something, if you zoned out for a second, you can go back and watch it. And of course, any of your peers who aren't here can watch it as well. So let's get started. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about the structure of Rockland Community College so that you understand your place in it, okay? You're in the honors program, but you are also, when you choose a degree, you are also a part of one of the 5 schools at Rockland Community College. Those schools are the School of Nursing, Health and Wellness, the School of Business and Professional Studies, the School of Education and Social Science, the School of Art and Humanities, and the School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And then you can see honors is that nice little rainbow stripe that connects all the schools, because honor students are in all of the schools. What does this mean for you? Well, one of the things that it means is that you will have communications from your school dean, from your school academic advisor, and from your honors mentor. So you're going to get a lot of different kinds of communication. So you want to make sure you understand where you fit. For example, if you're pursuing a degree in math and science, you are in the School of STEM, and you are also in the honors program. If you are pursuing a degree in business, you're in the School of Business, you'll get communications from that school, but you'll also get communications from the honors program. Being in the honors program means you have an extra layer of support, okay? That's really what it means. And the point person that you should always start with is your honors mentor, okay? And you're gonna get a chance to meet your mentor, if you haven't yet, later today when we get into breakout rooms toward the end of our session. So when you look at this diagram, what I want you to remember is you are an honors student. You want to start with your honors mentor. They're here. They're ready to help you. They're really excited. They're wonderful people and great teachers. And then you also have these extra layers of support through your school. Okay. Now, if you have any questions about that or about anything else today, I want you to put them in the chat. I won't always be able to answer, but we've got a couple of people monitoring the chat. And one of those people is Carol Coiro. Okay. And Carol, if you'll see her, she's going to wave right now. There she is. Carol's going to wave. Carol is our assistant coordinator of the honors program. You probably interacted with her when you were applying to the program. She is basically like the honors mom. She's awesome. She runs the office. You want to get to know Carol, and so Carol will be answering any questions that you have in the chat. We also have our honors student assistant here today, Rafaelene Frias, and Rafaelene is going to also answer questions in the chat. Rafaelene, would you mind waving to us if you can? Awesome. Okay, so you're going to get to know these people. It's going to be great. And I want you to understand where you fit, and you're welcome to put any questions about that in our chat today. All right, so let's talk now specifically about that honors stripe. What does it mean to be in the honors program? Well, I'm an English professor, and I believe very strongly in the power of stories to teach us things. I think they're the most powerful force in the universe. And I want to tell you a few stories about the honors program. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about what the honors program is like when there isn't a pandemic, because we're hoping to get back to that point pretty soon. This is from the halcyon days of 2019, when we, actually, was that early 2020? No, it was 2019. We had to cancel our 2020. It was late 2019. And we took a trip to Broadway to see To Kill a Mockingbird. And we saw Ed Harris in that production, and that was amazing. We will be able to do that again. And when we do, we will have subsidized tickets for you. Okay, so we love to do cultural events. We also love to have holiday parties. You can see that we celebrate all of the holidays around the winter holidays. And if we can do that this year, if it's safe enough to do that, we will do that. And we invite you to join us. Okay, it was a potluck style. Students brought in their favorite recipes, and it was so much fun. This was again back in 2019. We also do virtual events though. When the pandemic came around, we were ready. We did a whole bunch of great virtual events. We're going to talk to you about the Honors Newsletter Club later. This is one of the great clubs that you can join at RCC. It's for honors students, and it produces a newsletter each year. You'll hear more about that, but we had a launch party for the newsletter. We had a great panel on Black Lives Matter. We do all kinds of events, whether we do them virtually or we do them in person, and we're hoping to be able to do a mix of those this year. But of course, stay tuned. We know that the situation is still complicated. So being part of honors doesn't just mean getting extra support and challenging yourself academically. It also means having these really wonderful activities to participate in, and we want your feedback on that. We want your participation and your engagement. We want you to take initiative and really contribute to this program and to RCC. Okay. Now, I want to tell you a few different kinds of stories. I want to tell you stories about people who were just like you once upon a time, sitting in an honors orientation, and who ultimately became very, very successful. And what I hope you'll learn from these stories is what is possible. So the first story I want to tell you is the story of Duran. This is Duran when he was studying abroad at Cambridge University several years ago, way before we even knew anything about COVID. He was studying at Cambridge University as part of the honors program study abroad initiative there, where we send students for 2 weeks in the summer to study at Cambridge. And we're really hoping we can do this again in the summer of 2022. Duran came to RCC not in the honors program. He started not in the honors program. And some of you also did not start at RCC in the honors program. And his teacher recommended him to be in the honors program. So he applied and he joined the program. He did really, really well. He had a wonderful experience at Cambridge. He got involved in student government. He was just doing all these wonderful things. And Duran came to RCC with the purpose of leading our basketball team to a state championship. But that goal didn't happen for him, unfortunately. They lost in the tournament. But he formed another goal along the way, which was to transfer to a really competitive four-year school where he could study business. And he ended up going to Georgetown. And so whenever people go to Georgetown now, I always put them in touch with Duran. He is a wonderful ambassador for us. So this story, yours could be like his. I want to tell you next about Jasmine. Jasmine's over here. Jasmine is wearing the blue gloves in the right-hand side of the picture with the glasses. Jasmine is hanging out in the lab with Dr. Jeff McLean, who is one of our biology professors who runs research opportunities. Jasmine started at RCC as an early admit student, meaning that she was doing her senior year of high school while doing her first year of college. Jasmine may be like you. Some of you are early admit students. She did really, really well. She studied hard. She worked hard. She got involved in these great research opportunities. She was active in other clubs. She wrote a fantastic application to Johns Hopkins, where she was admitted, and she graduated a couple of years later. So Jasmine is another fantastic success story. I also want to tell you about Yehidis. She goes by Y, the letter Y. We love Y. This is Y with the former chancellor of the SUNY system and RCC's former president wearing her fancy medal for getting the Students' Chancellor Award of Student Excellence. So Y did really, really well at RCC. She came back to school as a returning adult student. So she was not 18 or 17 or 16 when she started. She was a little bit older, and she did so well. She started by taking classes at night, then she joined the honors program. Then she decided at the end of her time in honors to apply to Columbia's School of General Studies, which is an option for students who have taken at least 1 year of gap, a break of 1 year in their education between high school and college. She got into Columbia, she ended up graduating from Columbia, and she is now doing an art residency in Colorado. So she is a very accomplished artist now, and she is doing all these different art residencies, and she's in Colorado at present. So love to tell stories about why. I connect people with her all the time. And then I also want to tell you about Neola. This is Neola doing the Bridges to Baccalaureate program. So Neola was another science student at RCC. She came in, she was focused on studying biology. She took advantage of a research program that we have with SUNY Purchase. She did that over one summer. She also worked with Dr. McLean like Jasmine did. And just like Jasmine, she ended up at Johns Hopkins. And when she went to Johns Hopkins, she talked to Jasmine, right? And Jasmine was able to give her some advice. So we have this wonderful, rich RCC honors family at many, many excellent institutions of four-year institutions where we can continue to support you even after you graduate. Your story is not going to be identical to any of these people's stories. But one theme that is true throughout all of these stories is that these people, they may not have had exactly the goal that they ended up achieving when they came in, but the things they all did were they worked really hard, they communicated with their mentor, they sought out opportunities to really push themselves, they applied to really excellent institutions to reach for those goals, and they were able to be successful. So you want to make some decisions as you're thinking about the beginning of our school year. It starts in 1 week from today. You want to make some decisions about, how do I start strong? How do I think about my goals right now? And how do I make some decisions right away that will put me on the right path? Your mentor is there to help you do that, okay? Now, let's say things don't go very well right away. That's okay too. That happens to people. But when whatever is happening, whether it's good or bad, whether it's positive or negative, we need you to communicate what you need with us so that we can support you. Because asking for help may be really hard for some of you. It may be something you're not accustomed to doing because you never needed to before. But at some point you will. And it's really, really important to ask, because nobody gets to be successful without other people contributing to that journey. Okay, so moral of the story here, you can find awesome success in the honors program at RCC, but you've got to let us help you do it. Okay, so make sure you communicate. I'm excited to learn your stories, really, really excited. So let's think now about how you're going to get started in the classroom. I want to talk specifically about virtual learning because that's still something that I think a lot of us struggle with. Around 50% of RCC's courses are going to be held online. If you are in a synchronous online course, okay, a course like this where the professor's talking to you, you're talking to the professor, you want to have your camera on if you can. Again, it will help you be more engaged. It will help the professor understand whether you're getting the material or not. It's just a better experience for everyone. If you can't turn on your camera, please let the professor know. Be respectful in that conversation. There are two kinds of virtual classes. Synchronous, I just described, where you're in a room at a particular time, right? And you are, looking at the teacher, and the teacher's looking at you. Asynchronous is different. Asynchronous means you don't ever meet formally as a class. Instead, you are logging into RCC's learning management system called Blackboard, which I will demonstrate later. And you are doing the material, you're running through the course on your own, following the guidance of the professor who set it up. You can still email the professor, but you'll never meet face to face. So if you're not sure whether your courses are synchronous or asynchronous, we'll go over that in a couple minutes, how to tell. But just make sure if you're in an asynchronous course, you need to be really, really self-directed. You need to build time in your calendar every single day to make that course work for you, okay? And make sure you're doing what you need to do. What's next? Masks. They are required when you're on campus, okay? So make sure if you need a mask, RCC is gonna have some for you, but make sure if you're coming to campus, you're wearing one. Also, you want to, in this week that you have, familiarize yourself with Blackboard. And again, I'm going to give you a demonstration in just a minute. Each professor that you interact with in a class on the first day is going to give you what's called a syllabus. This is something that might not be familiar to you from a high school environment if you came from high school. A syllabus is essentially a contract with you. And by staying in the class, you agree to the contract. So just like any contract, it's really important to read it. But how many of you have recently downloaded some app and not read at all the user agreement and hit I agree, right? Have we all done that? Yes, I have also done it. With a syllabus, you can't do that, okay? You have to read it because the syllabus spells out what you need to do. It spells out what the course expectations are, what the attendance policy is, what you're gonna cover. It has a list, usually a list of the percentages of your grade. So when you stay in a class, you're agreeing, you hit that I agree button. But if you didn't read the syllabus, you don't know what you're agreeing to, and that can catch you by surprise. So please make sure you read each syllabus very, very carefully. All right. And again, if you have questions, I want you to be putting those questions in the chat. We definitely want to be seeing your questions. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the electronic resources that you have, and then I'm going to demonstrate a few of them. So first of all, the first resource you have is called Myrcc, which is your portal for communication, access, and support. Everything that you're going to do in the college comes through Myrcc. Secondly, self-service. Self-service is how you view your degree progress, how you register for classes. Most, if not all of you, have already engaged with this program. There's a tutorial that exists. We can help you answer any questions. Blackboard, I mentioned earlier. That's like your virtual classroom. Every single class, even if it's in person, has a Blackboard classroom. It's like a classroom in the cloud. And it's extra important for your synchronous online and your asynchronous online classes to engage with Blackboard, but you should be engaging with it all the time anyway, okay? Your grades are gonna be there. Your syllabus is going to be there. There's usually going to be other resources there for you. So make sure that you are constantly looking at Blackboard. There's also an app that you can download for your phone so that you can get Blackboard notifications. When your professor posts something, you can get a notification. So I would suggest looking for that. Also, we have wonderful library databases, okay, that help you conduct scholarly research. Now, you're going to learn a lot more about that in your English classes, but I do want to mention them here. So let me pause for a second here, and I want to actually stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to navigate to Myrcc. And I'm going to share a new screen in just a second, okay? And so here you're seeing the homepage of RCC, and I'm just going to go through the steps for you really quickly because I want to make sure that you understand, what's here. All right. So this is Myrcc. Now my credentials were already in the system. You might have to log in, your username and your password. If you are having any trouble whatsoever logging in or any trouble with any technology, we have a help desk and you should, reach out to them. If you don't know how to do that, ask your question in the chat. We will find the number for you. Okay. We'll find the email address as well. Here is Myrcc. Mine looks a little different from yours because I'm a faculty member. I'm a professor. You're a student, but it's going to look similar. A couple things that I want to point out. First of all, you don't use Gmail anymore. If you were ever using an RCC Gmail address, you do not use it anymore. You are using Outlook. We switched over the summer from Gmail to Outlook. It's been a little confusing. It's okay to have questions about it and to be confused. You want to ask the help desk, right, when you have those questions, but you are only going to use Outlook now. You can use Outlook on the web. You can also use Outlook as a desktop client if you want to. And again, the help desk will help you with that. Tutor track, if you ever need to book a tutoring appointment, that is how you would do it. And again, I'm just going through this really fast. All right, this is just a really brief overview. You can always ask your mentor for more assistance with this stuff. Google Drive, you have access to not Gmail, no more Gmail, but you have access to Google Docs, Google Sheets, all that other stuff through your Google Drive. So you can, continue using Google for your Drive needs, just not for your email. Focus to career, okay? Focus to career. I've mentioned this a few times in my emails to you. We need you to do your focus to career assessments before you start at RCC. If you click on this and you are taken to the Focus to Career website, you are going to be asked to create an account and you're going to be asked for a passcode. That passcode is, and I'm going to type it in the chat, pathways with an S, okay? So when you enter that passcode, you're going to be allowed to create an account. There are 6 assessments that you need to do. They're not onerous and you don't get a grade for them. They are, things that are asking you about your values or about your goals, your career goals, your personality. And those assessments will help you start to make some plans for what comes after RCC. And that's why they're so important, okay? The one I've saved for last. Well, we can talk about self-service. You'll have a self-service icon. That's how you register. I'm not going to demo that today, especially because I think a lot of you have already gone through that process. But if you have questions about registration or about self-service, you can let us know. The one I want to demo is Blackboard, because this is your virtual classroom. So we're going to go into Blackboard. Oh, it's going to make me log in again, of course. That makes sense. It makes you log in frequently. And I know it's a pain, but it's what's keeping us safe, right? We're being safe from any kind of online malicious attacks. So here we are in Blackboard. Mine is going to look a little bit different from yours, again, because I'm a faculty member. But just like me, you are going to have courses, okay? And they are going to show up when you start. So it actually should be later today when they show up for you, but definitely by tomorrow, your courses will show up in this list. I'm going to go up to the top here where it says courses, and I'm just going to show you an old course from the fall of 2020. Okay, this is my old college writing 1 honors course from last fall. Okay, here in the course, you are going to have a whole bunch of different sections that you can look at. Your teachers will often give you announcements, and those announcements will have important information. If you have Blackboard loaded on your phone, the announcement will come right to your phone. That's really important. Otherwise, you'll have to look at Blackboard, and you want to get in the habit of checking Blackboard at least once a day, if not many more times. So there are announcements about the course. Okay, you can see what those look like for my college writing 1 course. Course information. This is where a lot of people put, you know, their syllabus, their course calendar. They might put teaching resources. This is, you know, booking an appointment with me, resources for succeeding in writing. Different professors put different things in this section, but whatever they do, you know, you want to pay attention to what it is. In the content section of the course, if this is a synchronous online class, or if this is an asynchronous class, this is probably going to have a lot of material. And oftentimes what it will also have is a link to how a synchronous course is going to be taught. So for example, if your teacher is teaching via Zoom, they will likely have a Zoom link here for you to click on. If your teacher is teaching within Blackboard, because there's a video conferencing platform within Blackboard, your teacher will have a link to that here. This is Blackboard Collaborate Ultra is what it's called. You should get an email from each of your professors at your RCC address before the first day of class that gives you some information about how a synchronous or an asynchronous class is being offered. Okay, so make sure you're checking your RCC email once a day. And if you don't see information about how to access a course, then you want to email your mentor, right? And your mentor will help you make contact with the faculty member and will help you get the information that you need. Okay, so any questions about Blackboard, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll have people try to address those for you. But this is a very quick overview of Blackboard itself, but I just want to give you a little taste so you can explore. Really, really important for you to be able to explore. Okay, now a couple other things. I mentioned library resources. If you look here at the library, this is where you can start to find those great library resources. Our library is connected to all of SUNY's libraries, which is really exciting in a lot of ways. We'll tell you more about that as you begin your academic journey. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my presentation, so give me a second to switch gears here. Okay. We also finally have social media, Instagram and Facebook. So if you haven't followed us on social media yet, I hope you will. Right now, just go do it, RCC Honors. And there in social media, we will give you reminders. We'll, share things that the college shares. So again, Facebook, Instagram, please follow us. We'd love to see you there. And it's a really good way to stay connected. Okay, as I mentioned, Facebook and Insta. Now, let me talk to you at the beginning of your journey about what happens toward the end, because you're here at community college for 1 to 3-ish years, most people, right? It's okay if it takes you longer, but 1 to 3 years is usually the amount of time most students spend, especially in the honors program. So it's not a lot of time. You wanna have a plan, even if it's a hazy, tentative plan about what happens next, okay? Most of you, in fact, pretty much all of you should be taking a course this semester called Honors 101, Introduction to the Sam Draper Honors Program. That is a 7-week pass-fail course that you're supposed to take right away when you join college. It's a graduation requirement from RCC, and it will teach you how to think about the future and also how to plan to be successful in the present. So it'll teach you things like study skills and time management and all of that, which is really important, especially college, when you think you have more free time, but you don't, right? Believe me, you don't, but you think you do. You will believe that you do, and then you'll have to sort of trick yourself into not thinking that way, because you actually have a lot of time in your day that you need to spend studying and working on your classes. right? So that class will teach you those kinds of skills, but it will also help you start to explore career options, transfer options, things like that. So I want to make sure that we're getting you started strong so that you can have a plan for the future, even if it's a hazy plan, just some kind of plan. First of all, every single one of you is enrolled in a degree. Your degree sheet specifies all your graduation requirements. So you want to make sure you know those graduation requirements, and your mentor will help you with that if you're not sure of what they are. We offer a transfer seminar each fall semester so that as you're finishing your time at RCC, you can be planning for how to transfer to a four-year college. It's not an easy process. So you want to attend that transfer seminar in the semester before you are planning to apply to transfer. Most of you are going to stay with us for the next 2 years. Some of you are thinking of moving on after this year. If you are thinking of moving on to a new place in fall 2022, okay, next fall, a year from now, you should attend the transfer seminar this fall. Just a spoiler alert, it will be held on September 30th, and I will get you more information about that. It will be a virtual event, but it's important to attend that transfer seminar in order to prepare yourself. Now, if you're planning to transfer to a school in 2 years, in fall 2023, but you want to attend the transfer seminar this year, that's great. Nobody's going to stop you. It's just required for the folks who are in their second year, okay? Let's think about how to pay for next steps. First of all, you can get some scholarships to help you pay for RCC. Those are available, and they become available each like February or so. So this coming February of 2022, you will start getting information about scholarships that are hosted by RCC, and you can apply for those. There's an application process. There are also scholarships that are available for what happens next for your four-year schools, okay? And I've listed a few of them here. The Jack Kent Cook Scholarship, the CC Top, the Community College Transfer Opportunity Program at NYU, Phi Theta Kappa, which is an international honor society for two-year students that you can join if you've been at RCC long enough to get at least 12 credits and you have a 3.6 GPA or higher, and you're in academic good standing, you can join Phi Theta Kappa and get access to lots of scholarships. So I'm just mentioning these now so that you're thinking about what comes next, okay? Again, you want to be making a plan for what comes next, and we're going to help you do that. That's what you do with your mentor, all right? Who's in this picture, by the way? This is a group of students who went to Cambridge with Carol. You can see Carol was there that year. A few years ago. It was a very hot, dry summer at Cambridge. The grass is all wilted and dried up, but it was such a great time. So again, these are students who took full advantage of the honors program's connection with Cambridge and went off and had a wonderful time and learned a lot and got 4 credits that counted toward their degree. Okay, so just giving you some photos so that you can see all the cool stuff honor students can do. Carol, did you want to chime in about Cambridge at all? Did you want to say anything here? Oh, you're muted or something.
It was a really great time. It was a very dry summer. The grass was brown everywhere, and everyone at Cambridge was very upset about that. Apparently it's always green. But we all had a great time. I was there for the first week. The students were there, and it was just amazing. And I just got to know the students even that much more. And, we had a great relationship even after that, getting me honors mom designation.
Oh yeah. Wonderful. It's a wonderful group.
I just wanted to say something about social media as well. You mentioned Facebook and Instagram, but we are very excited to say that we are starting TikTok as well. I think maybe Raffaelani will talk a little bit more about that, but we are embarking on TikTok. So we're looking for all the TikTok lovers and dancers out there.
Excellent. Come join the team. Help us out. Yeah, perfect. So let's talk a little bit about one specific part of your degree. Many of you are going to be interested in achieving what's called honors designation within your degree. Okay. Honors designation is something that is awarded after graduation. It appears on your transcript as a line that you either graduated with honors, high honors, or highest honors, depending on your GPA. You also get a special diploma. Okay, so this is honors designation. It's something that happens if you essentially complete the honors program. Just want to make sure you know how it works. You need to have at least 8 honors courses. And if you are pursuing a non-honors track, because some of you are, the easiest way to get honors designation is to just follow an honors track, because they're built to, facilitate that. But some of you have different interests. Some of you are pursuing 2 degrees at once, or you don't, you have a different degree that you're trying to layer honors designation into, and you've talked to your mentor about that. That's okay. But if you are going to get honors designation, you need to take 2 lab science courses, because all the honors tracks make you take 2 lab science courses, okay? You also need to have College Writing 1 and College Writing 2 honors, English 103 and English 104. Those courses are so important because they teach you the writing skills that you will need in other honors courses, including your science courses. Your biology and your chemistry courses are going to make you write research papers if you're taking them as honors. You're going to need those research skills that you learned in College Writing 1 and 2. Those are just really important courses. Now, some of you pushed yourselves really hard in high school and you took one or both of these courses in the high school as a college class, so you couldn't take it through the honors program. We understand, right? So what we're going to do in that case is, if you took one or both of those courses, we will ask you to take the second one or to retake only one of them as honors. If you have questions about this, put them in the chat now. You can also ask your mentor, but just make sure that if you want honors designation, you are doing what you need to do here with your course selection. You also need to take an applied learning experience, an internship, a study abroad course, or a science research course, and that has to be for credit. So you'll take an internship for credit, where you go out and you work somewhere in New York City or somewhere in the county or even on campus. And doing that is, really important. It's a part of your degree requirement if you're in one of the honors tracks. And if you are not doing an honors track, then you need to find a way to fit that into your degree, okay, if you want honors designation. And finally, you need to have a 3.5 GPA or higher to graduate with honors designation. Okay, that's cumulative over the course of your entire time at RCC. So, couple other things that I want to tell you specifically about in terms of the internships, research, and study abroad. First, while we're looking at applied learning, let me tell you the story of these three lovely people. So we have these 3 students are all at Cambridge in this photo. They're at Cambridge and they are touring a lab at Cambridge. And that's one of the cool things that you get to do when you're there. You get to actually, if you take one of the science courses that's connected to the biology program, you get to tour the lab and actually get to see where they discovered DNA and things like that. It's really, really, really exciting. So these 3 students decided that they were going to do study abroad to fulfill their applied learning requirements. Okay, but there are other options, as we mentioned. An internship involves 135 hours at an internship site, and you take that as a 3-credit course. So you actually have to enroll in a course. You have to do the job on site, and you also have to do your coursework. That cannot be completed abroad. That's not our rule. That's other people's rules that we have to follow. Here's my advice. Plan your internship for the summer after your first year or the fall semester of your second year. Why? Because if you're transferring, you want to be able to write about your internship in your transfer essays. And if you do it after your first year or in the fall semester of your second year, you're going to have the chance to write about your awesome experience in that internship. Okay. We mentioned research. You saw Jasmine and you saw Neola having done some research. You're going to pursue a research opportunity on or off campus if you choose this option. Most students who choose this scientific research option do it on campus through one of our 2 biology professors who are offering these experiences as part of RCC's classes, Dr. Jeff McLean or Dr. Jillian Decker. Dr. McLean does work on bacteriophages. Those are viruses that infect bacteria. They're super useful and really important. And Dr. Decker does her work on algae blooms in the lakes and rivers nearby. So you can do research with one of them and you get credit for it, and that counts as applied learning, and you can write about it in your college essays, and you're going to sound amazing because not a lot of people get to do research when they're at their first or second year level. And finally, of course, we talked about Cambridge multiple times already, but you can go to Cambridge for 2 weeks and you come back and you write a research paper, and for that you get 4 credits, and that is a mentored experience through one of 2 faculty members who will help you with that. Okay, we're happy to answer any questions about those in the chat. So I have a couple of words of wisdom here, okay? And then pretty soon we're gonna take a little break and do a Kahoot. So you're about done listening to me for a little bit. You're about to have some time where you get to have fun, but just a couple words of wisdom as you get started. First of all, oh, I just did that wrong. There we go. Check your RCC email at least once a day. It's really important. You know, if you need a break on the weekends, okay, right? That's taking breaks is important too, but you've got to do it at least once every day that school is in session, that you're taking class, okay? If you don't do this, you will miss things. I know there's a lot of emails, I get it, but this is a part of your professional responsibility as a student. So make sure you check your RCC email once a day. Read every email that comes in, even if you just scan it briefly and you say, okay, that's not for me. Every email I send you, you should read very carefully. And that's not because I'm special, okay? It's just because I have got a lot of really excellent opportunities and important deadlines and information to share with you. And if you don't read my emails, you're gonna miss out on stuff. And then your peers will be doing cool things and you'll be like, I didn't even know. And the reason you didn't know is because you didn't read your email. Don't be that person, okay? Read your email every day. As I mentioned, you're going to get a syllabus for each class. Read it carefully and take personal responsibility for keeping up with your course assignments, okay? Your instructors, some of them, they might just not give you a lot of reminders about what's coming, and they might just say, well, it was in the syllabus, you should have known it was due. Now, I don't agree with that, but that's something they can do. So you want to read this document carefully and take personal responsibility for what's in it. Pay attention to the college deadlines. College has a course calendar, excuse me, not a course calendar, but an academic calendar that you can find on the website. I'll link to it as well in my next email to you. You want to know when the add and drop dates are if you need to change your schedule. You want to know when payment happens, right? You want to know when there are breaks, when we have a holiday. That's really important information. Put that in your calendar, okay? For example, the deadline for 100% refund is on Tuesday. Right? So just that's something to be aware of. If you need to take a different class than RCC, you would have to withdraw by Tuesday to do that. Okay. And this is really important information. It's up to you to be able to you know, be accountable for it. Okay. Attend class faithfully. All of your classes, attend class faithfully as a prepared, engaged, and respectful participant. Camera on if you can. Taking notes, raising your hand. I know it's hard for some of you to speak up in class, but it's if you can, it's really important. If you're really struggling, talk to the professor. Your professors want to help you. They don't want to make things hard for you. They want to help you. Okay, but if you can do this, you will be doing very well. And also make sure you do not cheat or plagiarize. If you maliciously cheat or plagiarize, that is grounds for getting dismissed from the honors program. Okay, it's happened before. So if you're struggling with a paper, there are all kinds of resources that you can use to get help, including your professor's office hours, which I'll tell you about in just a second, including the Reading and Writing Center. But you know what you can't do is plagiarize or cheat, because if you do that, we'll find out, and then we're going to have a hard conversation that might end very badly for you. Okay. If you're not clear what plagiarism is, we'll talk about that in English. Okay, not to worry. That's why it's really important that you're taking those honors English classes. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Okay. You should be feeling challenged. That is okay. It is okay to challenge yourself. Now, you don't want to get overwhelmed, right? But you know, you do want to challenge yourself, and balancing between the two can be really difficult. And this is where your mentor can help you. But it is okay to be a little uncomfortable, because think about it. If you're going to the gym or you're doing a workout, if you're not a little uncomfortable, are you getting stronger? No. Right? If you're like super comfortable and you're just breathing really easily while you're jogging, that's not doing anything for you. School is the same way. Life is the same way. So you want to find that balance between pushing yourself and not being too overwhelmed. And it is a balance. And balancing is hard work. When you're balancing, you're not relaxed, right? So you want to push yourself. You also want to take care of yourself, and you want to let us help you do that. Ask for help, okay? This is going to be my big mantra the whole time you're here. Ask for help, ask for help, ask for help. I know it's hard to do. It's really hard, but you can do it. And if you do it, you will get the tools you need to be successful. Get involved. It's really tough to do this if you're taking courses only online. I know it's hard to get involved, but you still can, okay? We'll have activities on campus. We'll have activities that are virtual. There's all kinds of clubs at RCC. You can make your own club at RCC. There's a performing arts department. There's music, that you can do as part of that. There are sports teams you can try out for, including esports, by the way. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of ways to get involved. Volunteering, you'll just find your way. And if you don't know what it is, try a few things until you click with people, okay? With your mentor's help, make a plan for how to make the most of your honors experience and follow up on that plan each semester. Start thinking about the end goal now. You don't have to get overwhelmed by this, but you just want to start that process, okay? Good idea to, make a meeting with your mentor in the first few weeks of class. All right. Now, if you're looking for a club, please consider the Honors Newsletter. The Honors Newsletter Club is awesome. So I want to pause here and I want to let Carol and Raffaelene talk a little bit about the Honors Newsletter Club and anything else that you want to share with us. Okay. And then we're going to have a little Kahoot to reinforce all the things that we just talked about. So please go ahead.
So yes, I threw the Honors Newsletter Club into the chat because I just wanted to, make everybody aware that I am the advisor to the Honors Newsletter Club. We don't just, create a newsletter. We do lots of community service in the community and on campus as well. So it's a great club to do, really important community service. And then at the end of the semester, at the end of the school year, we have this great newsletter that just showcase everything that we did all year, besides all the community service, but all the fun stuff we did if we went to a play or we went to Broadway at all, and just all the great things that the students are doing, amazing internships. So not only do we showcase the program, but all of the community service that we did all year. And we are very excited. Raffaelene, our student worker who you'll meet, and I brainstormed about some apparel. We do have honors apparel, and hot off the presses, this came in today. I don't know if you can see it, but it's our brand new honors t-shirt. It's a black short sleeve t-shirt. Can you see it? Yeah. And so they will be on sale first day of class on September 1st. I will be in the office. Stop by, and we're going to have some free giveaways and snacks and some food. So we want to celebrate coming back to campus. So that's what the newsletter club does, and what I do on campus. That's why I love my job. I get to do the fun stuff with the students. And if anybody has any, I know there were a few students I interviewed that have artistic abilities. I will be chasing you down if you don't come join the club. But I'm always open to new designs. In fact, an honor student a few years ago designed our logo, and we continue to use it, and we love it. And we love that it came from an honor student, that was designed by an honor student. So I'm always open to fresh and new ideas for branding our honors program. So stop by anytime, but definitely come by on the first day of class if you're on campus. We're going to have some fun.
Perfect. Raffaelene, would you like to chime in and introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello, everyone. My name is Raffaelene. I am the Honors Student Assistant. So I would just like to say that I really recommend the Honors Newsletter Club. It was the first club I joined when I was a first-year student in RCC, and it's very welcoming. Carol is a wonderful, wonderful person, and she's an honors mom. She gives great advice, and also the club was very welcoming. It's like a family, and it's great if you're a writer or if you are more artistic. And it's a club that allows you to not only do things for your community, but it also allows you to do things with your peers. So it's a wonderful club to consider joining. Of course, there's other clubs at RCC, but I highly recommend that if you are a first-year student, to please do clubs while you are here. It's a great opportunity to make friends. And last year, everything was fully online, but despite that, clubs allowed me to form relationships with people and to keep in contact with people, even if I didn't see them in person. So although this semester we will be in person more, it's still a great way for you to make friends and to at least have that socializing aspect of college, even if we're not in school. So please consider joining the Honors Newsletter Club, and we really look forward to seeing you on the first day, and try to stop by if you can.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's excellent. All right.
And as several of the honors mentors have mentioned in the chat, most of our honors mentors are also advisors to clubs. Dr. Butler is the advisor to the chemistry club, which is great for the science students. Professor Arvanites has a very, robust chess club that's very interesting. Professor Roche and her entrepreneur club. So there's so many opportunities to get involved.
Yes, so many. And again, you can make your own club. If you don't see a club that you want, you can make your own.
And Professor Jacobs has the debate team, which wins all kinds of awards.
Oh,
so
every year. Yep.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol and Raffaelli. That was wonderful. We appreciate all you do for the program, and looking forward to having yes, but come buy a t-shirt. So my friends, we are now going to get to a part where you have listened very patiently for about 50 minutes now, and we are going to get to a part where you actually get to engage. So what I'm going to ask you to do is go to grab your phone if you have it. You can also do it on a computer, which is fine. You're going to go to kahoot.it. You're going to put that address in your browser. If you're on an iPhone, it's Safari or Google or whatever you have, and you can put that email address, that web address in, and we are going to do a Kahoot. Now, a Kahoot is a quiz. This is not a graded quiz. This is just for fun. You do not have to use your real name if you don't want to, okay? But you may. If you decide to use some kind of silly name, it can't be vulgar, no bad words, okay? But you can get creative and silly if you want. I have no problem with that. And the goal of the quiz is for you to get the right answer as quickly as possible. So whoever answers right first gets the most number of points, okay? A lot of this is reinforcing stuff we just went over, which is the whole point, and with a few bits of new information added in there, okay? You are going to get a pin in just a second to add to put into the site. So I will, let me actually reshare because I know everybody needs the music. Oh, good. We've got to have the music. This is always a point of, something I've learned is that you all love the Kahoot music. So we're going to get started here. You're going to see a pin, and I will put that pin in the chat as well. So the pin, I'm going to read it out loud for you, is 6708802. That's here as well. I see folks logging in already. I appreciate that. Well done. We're going to give it a couple minutes. Oh, I love when you put emojis in there. That's always so fun. Excellent. Please go ahead and join. Great job. Love seeing you all. Walter White. Wow, that's a little disturbing. Okay. Loading. I like that. Excellent. Excellent. Great to see you all. Hi there. Hello. I love it. Okay, just another minute or so. Sigourney is in the house. Excellent. Excellent. Insert name. Great. So again, you're navigating to kahoot.it on your phone. You're going to input your name. You don't know what to put. That's okay. Great. We're going to wait a few more seconds and then we're going to kick this off. Okay. All right. Great. All right, friends, we're going to get started. If you weren't able to get in, I'm sorry. I know sometimes it might be a little unfamiliar, but we are going to go ahead and get started, and you can still, guess the answers. So here are your questions for today. Number 1, the document given by each professor that explains a class's policies is called a what? Is it a calendar, a syllabus, a regimen, or a pamphlet? What is the answer? Okay, very, very good. Y'all got it right. I'm so proud. It is a syllabus, and you should get one from every professor. And if you don't get one from every professor, check in with your mentor and we'll see what's going on. Okay, question number 2, true or false? You must check your RCC email at least once per weekday. Is that true or false? I do find this music very catchy, I must say. Okay, yes, true. False. It is true. You must check your RCC email every weekday. Okay, you must do it. If you need a break on the weekends, that's okay, but you have to check it every weekday. You will miss really important things and pieces of information if you don't. So please be like the 40 who said true and check your email every weekday. Okay, excellent. Number 3. RCC's learning management system or online classroom environment is called what? Is it Gmail, TutorTrack, self-service, or Blackboard? Which could it be? Okay, very good. It is called Blackboard, the online classroom environment. Blackboard is what I demonstrated earlier in our time here. And that's where you're going to see, that's like got a mirror image of each of your courses online. And if you are in an asynchronous course that never meets face-to-face, that is your only classroom. So Blackboard's really important. Lots of great information is going to be there for you. Okay. Khadija is in first and also is on fire. Well done. Number 4, true or false? A professor's office hours are times they have set aside to meet with students who have questions. I mentioned this briefly, but no, didn't go into detail. So this is a tough one. Is that true or false? A professor's office hours are times they have set aside to meet with you. Okay, the answer is true. And professors really desperately want you to come to their office hours. Okay, so they're each full-time professor. We have some part-time professors at RCC, but a full-time professor like me, like all the other professors on this call, you know, Professor Arvanites and Dr. Lee and Professor Jacobs and everybody else on the call, they all have at least 5 office hours per week, and they want you to come visit them. So those office hours might be virtual this semester, mine are, but make sure you go to office hours. It's a great place to form a relationship with a professor and ask questions. Okay, awesome. Khadija's still in first with Grace and Dylan close behind. Here we go. Number 5, to pay for your courses, use the blank link in MyRCC. This one's a toughie too. I didn't quite go over this. Hopefully you've been reading your college documentation. Is it TouchNet, Swift 911, FAFSA, or Campus Clear to pay for your courses? This is a toughie. Good, TouchNet, okay? TouchNet is what you use to pay. If you haven't done that yet, make sure that you go ahead and do. You can find TouchNet in MyRCC. Okay, Swift 911 is our emergency alert system. You should also sign up for that. FAFSA is the federal application for financial aid for students. If you want to apply for financial aid, you should complete that. And Campus Clear is the app that was used to see how you're feeling in the time of COVID. I think we're transitioning away from that though. So I don't think you'll need to interact with that. I'll let you know for sure. Okay, wow. So we've got some shuffling now. We've got Khadija still in first, but Seth and then insert name close behind. Number 6, dropping a course after the semester has begun or taking a course outside of your degree can lead to a loss of what? So if you drop a course after the semester starts, or if you take a course outside your degree, what could you lose? Is it your GPA, your financial aid, your MyRCC access, or your TutorTrack access? Okay, this was a tough one, and I'm glad we're talking about it. It is your financial aid. So financial aid is tied to your degree. So if you start by taking a course and you drop it after a certain time, right? Or you drop it right away and you don't replace it with something, and your financial aid is contingent upon you taking a certain number of credits, you could lose your financial aid. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't drop a course. It just means that if you're going to drop a course, you need to talk to your mentor about it. And you also need to talk to financial aid if you get financial aid, okay? Don't make a decision without talking to your mentor And your mentor will help you think about other offices you need to connect to, like financial aid, okay? If you are taking a course that isn't in your degree sheet, right? It doesn't appear as a course you have to take, or you're all filled up with your electives and you don't have any extra elective spots and you take a course that doesn't fit anywhere else, then you could lose your financial aid. So this is why your mentor is so important. You don't want to make decisions about your courses, adding, dropping, choosing what fits into your degree without talking to your mentor. Okay. And if you have financial aid, you want to reach out to financial aid and make sure that that the aid you're getting is going to pay for the courses that you have. It's really, really important. Okay. Again, happy to answer more questions about that. Khadija is still in the lead, but Gab and Kiara, we're getting a lot of movement in second and third place. That's awesome. If you are struggling with a writing assignment, you should book an appointment at where? The Tutoring Center, the Science Learning Center, the Reading and Writing Center, or the Connection Center? The answer is in the question, as it sometimes is. Good tip, pro tip. Sometimes the answer is in the question, not always. Okay, very good. The Reading and Writing Center. So if you are struggling with a writing assignment. Now, those of you who entered the Tutoring Center, you're right that you can go to the Tutoring Center for help. But if it's writing, you have to go to the Reading and Writing Center, okay? That's the place to go. Both of them can be accessed through TutorTrack, and you can do in-person appointments and virtual, I believe, still for this coming semester. So there's great support services. We'll tell you more about them. You can explore them. You'll hear about them in your classes. You'll hear about them in your Intro to Honors class. Really important to go seek out help. There is no stigma against you seeking out help. Maybe you never had to before in high school. That's okay. You might have to do it now, and it's better to do it than it is to get a bad grade or to fail, right? So really important to seek out the help that you need. Okay, we've got Raf in second place and Kiara in third. Number 8, blank is the name of the software that will help you explore your career goals. And you need to complete all 6 assessments before next week. Which one? Is it Focus to Career, Blackboard, Self-Service, or LinkedIn? I did mention this earlier. So this one you hopefully will get. Name of the software that helps you explore your career goals. It's actually pretty fun. I've done it. I've done the software myself. It's nice. I enjoyed it. All right, good. Focus to Career, and it's in my RCC, and you need to do that before your first day of class. Otherwise, you'll have to do it during your first week, and you don't want to do it then. You've got a lot going on, so do it now. And you can do it as many times as you want, which is pretty fun. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. Khadija's still in the lead. Number 9, true or false, RCC offers free access to licensed mental health counselors, both on campus and remote. Is that true or is it false? Your mental health is super important. We have learned that over the past 18 months. We have learned that this summer. If you watched the Olympics, there were so many good conversations about mental health. Your mental health is something you need to take care of, and we can help you. The answer is true. You all got that. So proud of you. Yes. Very good. Free mental health counselors, okay? Make sure you take advantage of that service. Matthew's up in third. All right, last question. This is it. The first person you should go to with a question about RCC is your what? Is it your best friend, your parent, your student success advisor, or your honors mentor? Which person is your designated point person as an honor student? Okay, very good. You do have student success advisors. You have those through your school, and they are valuable resources to you. But the first person you want to go to is your honors mentor. That's what makes this program special, is that you have a mentor, somebody who is designated, who is a seasoned and experienced expert teacher, who is ready to help you with whatever is on your mind, okay? And they'll connect you to all other parts of RCC to answer your questions. So let's see who our winners are. I'm going to take a little screenshot of this here. We have in third place, Kiara. Well done, Kiara. Excellent job. And we have in second place, Raf. Excellent. And in first place, I think we know who it's going to be. Held the lead. Khadija, well done. All right, I'm taking a little screenshot here. Excellent job. Runners up, Matthew and Seth. Great job. Thank you, everybody. I hope that was in some way entertaining for you. So we're going to leave the site here, and I will stop sharing. We're going to go back to, my presentation. Okay, we're going to get into breakout rooms soon. So you've got a little bit more to listen to, and then we're going to get into breakout rooms in just a couple minutes where you get to actually interact with your mentor. Okay. Now, I mentioned in the Kahoot, and I've mentioned before, that there are lots of support services at RCC. So I want to tell you a little bit more about each of them. And you'll notice that at the top of the screen, I say smart is as smart does. We have a nasty habit in our culture of thinking of intelligence as very narrowly defined and as something that is innate, and either you have it or you don't. And I don't agree with any of those things, okay? First of all, I agree with Harvard educational specialist Howard Gardner, who says that intelligence is the ability to solve a problem, whether that problem is, nuclear physics, or writing a novel, or analyzing a historical event, or kicking a soccer ball into a goal, or playing a musical piece flawlessly. There are lots of different ways to describe a problem, and there are different kinds of intelligences, and intelligence can encompass how we solve all of those problems. One of the problems that you will encounter is how to do well at RCC. And you can be intelligent about that by getting help, right? But to not get help is not smart, okay? So you may have been told all your life that you're super smart. You may have never once reached out for tutoring or assistance, but now it's time, because this environment's going to challenge you, okay? So I need you to reach out for help when you need it. Smart is as smart does. All right. And so let me tell you about all of the great support services that we have, or at least some of them. First of all, the Connection Center. Okay. I was very proud of this animation, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. The Connection Center. The Connection Center is a place where you can go for any issue you're having that isn't about school. Let's say you're housing insecure or food insecure. Let's say that you're struggling with mental health. You go to the Connection Center. You can reach out to them on campus. You can also reach out to them online, and I'm going to put their email address in the chat. It's lifehaps@sunyrockland.edu. That's the Connection Center. And LifeHaps is an abbreviation for life happens, and life does happen, and sometimes it interferes with school. So you need to reach out to the Connection Center, and they're going to help you with whatever that is that's interfering, whether it's about food or housing or mental health or anything else that isn't about your classes. What if it's your classes giving you trouble? If it's a writing assignment, or if you're struggling to comprehend the reading in any of your classes, you can go to the Reading and Writing Center for help. And again, they've got online appointments and they've got in-person appointments. And you book those appointments through TutorTrack. That's through my RCC. We showed you that earlier. If you have questions about the content of a course, chemistry, economics, accounting, whatever it is, right? If it's a course, math, you want to visit the Tutoring Center. Okay, so the Tutoring Center will help you with those specific topics. But if you're writing, you need to go to the Reading and Writing Center. And if you're having trouble understanding what you're reading, you also want to go there. They'll help you with that as well. TRIO. TRIO is a federally funded program for first-time college students. So I shouldn't say first-time college students. Most of you are first-generation college students, meaning that your parents didn't get a bachelor's degree. Okay, if you think you qualify for TRIO, you can reach out to your mentor who can connect you with that program. They offer extra support services. So there are some students in honors and TRIO, and they get extra mentoring. Okay, so if you're feeling uncertain about what on earth is college, it's not something my family has done. First of all, I admire you so much. I am so glad you're here. It is really hard to do a thing that your family doesn't understand, right? But we want to help you with that. And TRIO provides an extra layer of support. Okay. We have a Science Learning Center. The Science Learning Center is in the Tutoring Center, and they have scientific models, they have tutors, they'll help you with all kinds of science related questions that you might have. So you can book appointments in the same way that you do the other 3 academic support services through TutorTrack on my RCC. Accessibility services. Let's say that in high school you had an IEP, an individualized educational plan. Let's say that you received accommodations and support. In college, you have to be the one to initiate that process by reaching out to accessibility services. So you've got to make that move yourself. It doesn't come to you like it did in high school. You have to come to it. But if you have accommodations that you need and you receive them in high school, you should absolutely reach out to accessibility services. We want to make sure that you have what you need to be successful. And there are lots and lots and lots of honor students who have had some kind of accommodations that they needed and that helped them be successful. So don't avoid this, okay? Don't avoid this at all. Financial aid. We talked about financial aid and its importance. If you have financial aid, you need to be extra careful about the courses that you are taking, or else you could lose your financial aid. So please check with financial aid, work with your mentor. They will help you connect to those folks. Really, really important. Okay. Counseling services. I mentioned them before. You can access them through the Connection Center, lifehacks at sunyrockland.edu. The counseling services are free. And not only are they for mental health, you can also talk to somebody about if you're feeling a lot of uncertainty about what happens next, and they can offer you career, planning assistance. So it's not just the sort of, mental health struggles. It's also anything you want to talk about, and it's free. Okay. And then finally, career services can be accessed. You can start with your mentor, and they'll probably connect you to your academic success advisor within your school. They have some, there's folks that have some career services backgrounds. Carol is also really, really good at helping with resumes. So if you need a resume, if you have never made one, or if you've made one and you want to revise it, I would suggest reaching out to Carol, and you can do that. I'm going to put her email address in the chat here. And Carol, you want to say anything about how you help students with resumes? You're really good at that.
So I excuse me, I often meet with students and we talk about, getting a resume started. It's great to have, even if your school doesn't require, your transfer school doesn't require one, it's really still great to have one. It's good to start it right away, because it's much easier to put something down on your resume that you're currently doing than to, 2 years from now, try to remember what you did and what your responsibilities were. It's like get it started now is always easier than trying to backtrack a few years, because there's always something you did that you forget about. So you want to get everything down, document all the great things that you're doing. So I'm always available to help with that.
Excellent. And we appreciate that very, very much. So one thing I'm going to do before we move into our breakout rooms is I'm going to show you how to start to access some of these services. Okay. I'm going to share a new part of my screen again. I'm going to go back to the website. I have logged into self-service. Okay. And I am looking up a fake student. His name is Rocky Hawk. Okay. I'm not going to look up any of you, because, by the way, Rocky's GPA is here, and I don't want to, call out anybody's GPA at the moment. That wouldn't be fair or kind. So I'm looking up this fake student, but I want to show you what self-service looks like. I mean, you've all interacted with this because you've registered, but when you go to self-service, you have a student profile, and you're going to access that by going up here. Your options will look a little different from mine, but you're actually going to have a profile that you can access here. It's going to say your student, I forget exactly what it is, but it's your student profile in some way. And it's going to look like this. This has an awful lot of information that can help you start to access support services. So I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to actually make it a little bigger. Okay. First of all, you see down here where Rocky has his advisors, his primary advisor is this person. Okay. And his connection counselor is this person. His financial aid counselor is this person. His program director is Professor Shillingford, Dr. Shillingford. He just got his doctorate. His dean is Dr. Ree, and his student success advisor is Gina. So right now, what you see is all the support services that are around you. And when you click on one of these people's names, like if you were to click on, if let's say Rocky had a question about financial aid, if he was to click on Ms. Martinez's name, I'm not sure if can you see the pop-up window? If you can't, you can see it. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for letting me know. You see her picture and her email address. Boom, you can fire off a message to Ms. Martinez, okay, about financial aid. She is your financial aid counselor if you are Rocky Hawk, right? Your advisor is right here. For all of you honor students, your primary advisor is your mentor. So if you forget who it is, log into your profile and you can email them that way. You can also ask us. You can also email honors@sunyrockland.edu and we'll answer that question for you, okay? But it's just so important to know that you've got so much information here. Now, What happens if you email somebody and they don't get back to you soon? By soon, we're going to say 2 business days. Weekends are not business days. Holidays are not business days. If they don't get back to you within 2 business days, then you reach out to your mentor. Okay. And you say, I'm emailed so-and-so and they haven't gotten back to me yet and 2 days have passed. Can you help me? You never just want to accept silence as an answer. Never, ever, ever. Be a really good advocate for yourself. Okay. Be a really good advocate for yourself. All right. Awesome. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to move into pretty soon a part of this that is breakout rooms. So we're going to have all of these wonderful people in their own breakout rooms, and they are going to just spend about 15 minutes. We'll call everybody back at 11:30, telling you a little bit about who they are and how you can get help from them, and answering some questions that you have. This is a time to actually interact with your mentor. Now, I preloaded the rooms. Okay, some of you registered after I did that. So there's going to be a little confusion at the beginning where some of you, I'm going to stay in the big room and all my mentees are going to stay in the main room with me. But some of you won't be my mentees who are in the big room. So if I'm not your mentor, you want to let me know in just a few minutes when we go to the breakout rooms. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to set everybody up. I'm opening all the rooms. You're going to get your room assignment and then I will adjust as necessary. Okay, so let me just double check here. We're good to go. I'm not sure. Okay, I've got Dr. Lee. I'm a little confused about one thing. It looks like I don't have. Is Professor Fuller here by any chance? Are you here, Elise? No? Okay, I don't think Professor Fuller was able to make it. Carol, I'm gonna send you to room 4 to talk to Professor Fuller's mentees, okay?
Okay,
Does that sound okay? All right,
Sure.
Perfect, and I'm just double checking. Okay, we look like we are in very good shape. Okay, I'm opening all the rooms. I'll see you back here around 11:30. I will give you a 60-second warning when I close the rooms, okay? So see you soon. Carol, just give me 1 second to put you in the right place. Thank you, by the way. On the side. Okay. Going to assign you to room 4. All right, thank you. So those of you who aren't my mentees, who's your mentor? Anybody not my mentee? Yes, okay, who is your mentor, Alexa?
Mr. Arvanites.
Mr. Arvanite, so you're going to go to room 8. Excellent. So let me just give me a few minutes here and let me take you to room 8. Just got to find you. Okay, I'm going to assign you to room 8. Have fun. Who else is not my mentee? Who else has a mentor that's not me?
Mine is Miss Fuller.
Yours is Miss Fuller. So wait, who is talking? Sorry, I couldn't make out.
Noy.
Noy. Okay, perfect, Noy. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put you over in room 4 with Carol, and she's going to. Professor Fuller couldn't be here today, but Carol's going to give you some information. Okay, so we'll send you over there.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right. Okay. Think everybody else is supposed to be here with me?
I'm not.
All right. You're not. Maya, who's your mentor?
I think it's Dr. Butler.
Dr. Butler. Okay, just give me 1 second. We are going to put you in room 1 and you send you over there. There we go. Anybody else not supposed to be here? All right, really glad you all are here. Hi. So this is first of all, you've heard me say this over and over again, but whatever you need, I want to help you with. Okay, so all you need to do is reach out to me. The best way to do that is by email, and I will meet with you. I will answer your questions via email, whatever it is that you need. My job is to support you in whatever ways you need. Any question you have, you can always come to me first. So what I want to do is just get to know you a little bit better and then see what questions you have. So if you wouldn't mind, I'll call on each of you. And if I mispronounce your name or if you have a nickname that you'd prefer, please let me know. But what I'd love to hear from you is your name, and also anything that you, let's do some kind of fun check-in question, like something fun you did this summer. Let's stick around with the summer theme. Okay, so I'm Dr. Lynch, obviously, and something fun I did this summer is I went to a concert at Tanglewood in Massachusetts, an outdoor concert, so I felt safe about it, and it was really nice. There was beautiful music, and Yo-Yo Ma was playing, the famous cellist, and that was really, really nice. It was a beautiful day. So that was one fun thing I did. And let's start with Andrew. Do you like to go by Andrew?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, great. Tell us more about yourself, Andrew.
Well, this summer I worked as a lifeguard at Camp Ramaquay, and that was a lot of fun because I got to teach some kids how to swim, and it was a great experience, especially just in the idea of teaching people. That was new to me, and it was something I was a little unprepared for, but I got used to it over the 8 weeks I spent there, and I had a blast, and I want to go back and work there again next summer.
Very cool. Well, congrats. Was that your first time lifeguarding?
It was, yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that sounds like a great opportunity. Myrcc, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Myrcc. I am a mom to 7. This year, I took my kids to the Hot Air Balloon Festival down in New Jersey. It was a lot of fun. For myself personally, I took some beach days with friends. I live in a sheltered community, so this is like really out of the box, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And I'm very grateful to be here.
Great. So glad you're here. And I'm so glad you got some time to yourself too, and with your family this summer. That sounds like a great opportunity. All right. Mike, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Michael. I just graduated from Suffolk High School. And one fun thing I did this summer was I actually went to my first rock concert in Madison Square Garden. It was fully vaccinated people. I saw the Foo Fighters. It was one of the best experiences of my life, actually.
Oh, so cool. I'm so glad you got to go. That's amazing. It must have felt great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Amazing. Raffaellini, I'm going to skip you because you've already said so many wonderful things, but feel free to chime in anytime you like. Actually, you know what? Tell us something fun you did this summer. Let us know. What did you do? I know you were working hard for us this summer, but what's something fun you did?
I recently just went to Atlantic City. I just came back today, so.
Oh, wow. That must have been fun. Did you do the beach? Did you do the boardwalk?
Yeah.
What did you do? Yeah.
Boardwalk, the beach. We went to the different hotels. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. I'm so glad. Fun. Eva, how about you?
Hi, I'm Eva. Something fun I did this summer. Recently, I went to glass making class, which is like you cut glass. Yeah, it's in New Jersey. If anyone wants to go. And yeah, that was something fun I did this summer and spent time with family. Yeah, things like that.
That is fantastic. Oh, congratulations on taking the class. That's fantastic. Good. Glad you got to have that experience. Let's move to Grace.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Okay. So one thing I did this summer that was fun was I went to a Lee Bryce concert at the Stone Pony.
Fun. That sounds great.
I think it's like 3.
Oh, okay. All right. Amazing. And it was a good concert?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Cool. So a few of us got to actually see some live events, which is pretty nice after this long stretch of not being able to do it. Great. I'm glad you were able to go. Khadija, tell us something fun you did this summer.
Hi, my name is Khadija. I just came here from North Rockland High School, and this summer I went to the Wildwood Shore with a friend for about a weekend, and we just did the boardwalk, suntan, did all that.
That sounds amazing. I'm glad you got to go to the beach and just chill out a little bit. Excellent. Excellent. Taylor, how about you?
Hi, I'm Taylor. This summer, I went to Dominican Republic, the end of July. That was very exciting to get a nice switch up from what we've dealt with for the past year. Yeah. Stayed there for like a week, went horseback riding on the beach. It was very fun. It was very nice.
That sounds amazing. I'm so glad you got to go. Oh, good. And finally, last but certainly not least, Jocelyn. Did I say your name right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Tell us something fun you did.
This summer I went to Guatemala for like 3 weeks. It was beautiful there.
Great. Good. Sounds like a good time. Excellent.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Well, listen, everyone, thank you for chiming in. I appreciate that. I know it's hard to get to know people online, but any connections you start to make with each other is really valuable. What I want to do in the minutes remaining to us is just see what questions you have and answer them, because that's really important right now. We've got a week to go until classes begin. So what's on your mind? How can I help? No question is dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Andrew. Absolutely.
Well, getting into the school year is a little bit, how do I put it? Off-putting for me this time around, because now I'm trying something a little bit more out of my comfort zone. I'm going to college instead of spending my senior year of high school at high school. And I have wanted to sort of follow the path of political science, though I've sort of been, back and forth on whether I feel political science would be best based on the series of careers I want to get into in the future, as opposed to perhaps something else. Like, I want to try becoming an attorney, and I don't know if political science would be one of the better majors for me later down the road.
Yeah, absolutely, it would be. Political science, history, those are often, majors that people go into. But, the good thing is who want to do law. The good thing is that you do not need to choose a major right now, right? You're in the humanities and social science degree, and right now you can explore. So what I would do is, first of all, we've got a great honors political science class this fall, which is Political Science 104, and it's being taught by Assemblyman Ken Zabrowski. So, you definitely want to take that class because he's an expert, right? He's a politician, and so he will be able to tell you about, all that kind of stuff. And then I would make sure you take history classes, make sure you maybe take a psychology class, just test things out. And the purpose of these 2 years is to really prepare you to make a decision about what your major is going to be, in the future. So if you want to make any adjustments to your schedule and you want to talk about that, we can always make a meeting sometime before Wednesday. And I just want you all to know, you can actually change your schedules through the first week of class. Okay. So when you start, if you want to make a change in your schedule, you're allowed to do that. It's just that make sure you talk to me before you do it, because I want to make sure you're making a good decision, a decision that will actually help you, not hurt you. The other thing, Andrew, is that if you want, I can connect you to a former RCC honor student who actually just got into law school. She just got into Albany's law school, and she transferred from here to University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And she's not sure she's going to go to Albany Law yet, but one really cool thing that happened for her is that she learned, and this was new to me as well, that you can get a $20,000 a year scholarship at Albany because you were an RCC student, because you graduated from RCC. So I did not know that. That's amazing. And so I need to do a little more homework and investigation into that. But, a couple things to keep in mind. Does that help at all? Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
that helps a lot. The other thing too is the class that's being taught by Zabrowski.
Yeah.
I did sign up for that class, and fun fact, there's only 4 students on the list that are taking it.
We're gonna cross our fingers. So we're trying to make sure that class runs. It is a little bit in danger, I'll be honest with you, but if we have to cancel it, we'll let you know. We've been working hard to try to get a few more people to take the class, because it is such an awesome opportunity. And I'm like, oh, why don't more people want to take it? So if you suddenly want to take political science, let me know. We can help you out. But we'll cross our fingers, Andrew, that'll work out. If it doesn't, you can take the non-honors version of it, Political Science 101, or you can take a different class. But yeah, for law, there's lots of great opportunities. RCC also has a paralegal program, which is different from being a lawyer, but it's of course a part of that. And if you ever want to take one of those classes just to, learn more about the law environment, you can do that as one of your electives. Cool. All right, what other questions do you have? Again, nothing's too dumb. Go ahead, Eva. There is no such thing as dumb.
It's more of a simple question. I just wanted to know, how do you obtain a bus pass? Because I know that there's an option for that, and I don't know if I'm going to have transportation. So
yes, let me look that up for you. Hang on one second. I'm going to go search on the RCC website, and I think the information should be at the bottom of this page. Yes. So if you go to, let me show you. If you go to this page here and you scroll down all the way to the bottom, there's a little link for student bus passes that gives you some more information there. And so if you have any trouble, following through from there, what it looks like is it says RCC students can purchase a semester-long bus pass at student accounts for unlimited rides on Transport of Rockland. And the more you use the pass, the more you will save, obviously. So you can purchase it at the student accounts office at RCC, which is on the first floor of the Technology Center, the big white building on campus.
Through the glass doors?
Yes. So if you park outside that, if you come in through the College Road entrance and you park outside that giant white building and you walk right in, student accounts. So I'm going to pretend I'm walking in. It's on your left. Okay. And you can also ask, there'll be people around who are like, what's your question? We're so glad you're here. And you can say, I just need to talk to student accounts and get a bus pass.
Okay. And then that should be not too long. Like the obtaining shouldn't be too long. But okay.
Shouldn't take a lot of time. No.
Okay.
Yeah. You might need to stand in line for a few minutes, but no.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Great question. Great question. Other questions? We're time for at least one more before we wrap things up.
I have a question.
Sure.
Last semester, when I was trying to get some help, like tutoring help, I had a hard time. I couldn't log into the tutor center at all. I think it didn't recognize me.
Okay. And so you were trying to get the tutoring center, or you were trying to get the reading and writing center?
Tutoring center.
Tutoring center.
Or tutor track. Actually, tutor track it was.
You were having trouble with tutor track. Okay, I am going to write myself a note. I'm going to connect you to two people who can help you. To Ashari James, Mr. James, and to Pam Gerstheimer, Ms. Gerstheimer. And we will, I will write a message after we're all done today, and we'll see what the problem is. But I'm really glad you asked, and that's a great example for all of us, right? When something doesn't go right, don't just give up. Ask, and I will always find a way to help you. If I don't know the answer, I will connect you with the people who do, which is what I'm going to do for Myrcc right now. So we'll get that sorted out. You got it. Anything else before we end our breakout rooms? No. Okay. I'm gonna shut them down, but that's gonna give everybody about a minute warning. And so people will start trickling back in. If you think of other questions, you're welcome to ask them now. It's just a pleasure to meet all of you, and I'm looking forward to working with you. So just please be in touch.
I do have another question.
Sure, lay it on me.
I quickly skimmed through the calendar, and I'm afraid that school is on for the Jewish holidays, Rosh Hashanah. Only Yom Kippur is off.
So what you want to do, that's a great question. What you want to do is you want to talk to your professors about that right away. So you reach out to each of your professors. I would do it very soon because Rosh Hashanah is, of course, coming up, right? And I would reach out to each of your professors and explain to them that you observe those holidays and ask for their advice, because the law protects you. It's really important. The law protects you. Okay. And if you have any weird answer, I want you to let me know.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And welcome back, everybody. We're just talking, my group is just talking through a few questions. It's great to see everybody coming back. Eva, did you have another question?
Yeah, just quickly, where would we have to go to finish the financial aid, I guess, progress? Because I applied for FAFSA and it's been applied, but I wanted to know where I would go to do like TAP and HES, things like that.
Yeah, so what I would do is, do you remember when I showed you Rocky's profile? If you navigate to your profile in self-service, you will have a financial aid advisor. You can contact that person and ask them what the next steps are there. Financial aid also is an office on campus, and you can visit them. So when you're there to pick up your bus pass, you can also stop by. They're on the first floor. They're not in that main room in the technology building, but they are on the first floor, and you can just ask someone for directions. They're basically around the hallway and to the right. That's not going to make any sense right now that we're not there. So you can always stop by the office too. Okay, just remember to bring your mask. If you're going to campus, bring your mask.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Good. Great. Listen, I hope that you all had a really good time with your mentors. It was a chance for you to connect with them. Most important thing is that you keep connecting to them. No question is too large or too small for your mentor. They will always either help you answer it right away, or they will help connect you to the people who can help you. Okay. So for example, if there were some questions about financial aid that I got, I am not an expert in financial aid, but I know the people who are. And so I will help you connect to those people, and so will your mentor. Okay. Let us carry on. We've only got a few more things to do. I promise we're going to just continue on, and then there'll be more time at the end for questions. So if you have more questions, please, please, please make sure you ask them later on. Okay. I want to also show you the honor support team. We've already met Carol. You've seen Carol. You haven't met Teresa necessarily today, but probably Teresa contacted you or interviewed you. We are going to be, Carol and Teresa are going to be in the office. So I'll be teaching remotely. I mostly will not be in the office. You can always meet with me virtually. There will be a couple times when I'm in the office, and I'll let you know when those times are. But Carol and Teresa are going to keep the office open 4 out of 5 days of the week, Monday through Thursday. And so you can stop by the office, you can study in the office, you can ask them questions, you can get some free snacks on the first day of class. There's all kinds of great stuff that you can do. You can buy the apparel in the office, and our office is, I'll put it back in the chat. Let me just call up my chat real quick. It is room 1226, room 1226 in academic 2, or excuse me, the academic 1 building on campus. Okay. So that is where you can go. Right. Let's see. Oh, and also, of course, you met Rafaleni. That's great. A few reminders before we move into the last sort of parts of this this meeting today. So I have questions for you to consider. Have you spoken with your mentor? Right. All of you have. You've all met with your mentor, which is great. Do you need to have a follow-up conversation now? Do you need to reach out to them and speak with your mentor? If so, make sure you do that. Have you completed new student orientation? You will have completed honors orientation, but have you completed the college's new student orientation? You would have gotten information about that. I've also sent out a few reminders. You must do both. They're both really important, okay? So make sure you do both before the first day of class. Have you completed Focus 2 Career, right? Make sure you do that if you haven't yet. Get that done by next Wednesday. Have you downloaded the Blackboard app for your phone so that when your professor adds things to Blackboard or when assignments are coming due, you know? Make sure you do that if you haven't done that already. Have you signed up for Fall Fest? This is something that would have come to your RCC email. Fall Fest is on the 9th of September. It's an in-person campus celebration. Carol, Teresa, and I will all be there. We'll be excited. We'll be wearing our honors apparel, and we'll be excited to see you in person. I hope you'll sign up, and we're going to cross our fingers for a good weather day. Okay, it'll be a really nice event. Have you joined the Honors Discord server? And I know that none of you have because you don't have the link yet. Now, I want to say a little bit about the Honors Discord server. It's something new that we tried starting last year to create a virtual hangout space, and also a space where people can ask questions and support each other. So I'm going to share the link in the chat, okay? And you can come and join us in Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, the best way I can describe Discord is that it's a little bit of a combination of like a social media site that also allows you to do voice chat and video chat. It's a really nice way. We have a server on Discord, which is a private space. Only people with the link can join. It's a really nice way to go ahead and join with us in this virtual environment where you can, again, get to know each other, where you can learn about what's going on at the college. You can ask people questions. So if you want to join us in that space, I hope that you will. It's a really nice addition to our in-person office. Alexa, I'm going to handle your question in just a moment, but I just want to wrap up here. And I'll also stay here, by the way, to address any questions that you have, okay? I'm going to ask you all to do something today, which is you can do it now. You can also do it later. I will send out a reminder, but I want you to fill out a Google form, not for me, but for you. And your mentor is also going to get this information. So I'm going to put this in the chat, okay? The Google form link is here. It's called My Honors Plan, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. So My advice is later today or by, the 1st of September, which is the first day of class, please fill out, it's actually a Google form. I sort of mixed that up. It's a Google form questionnaire. You need to be logged into your RCC account to do so. So you want to log into my RCC and then you want to click this link. All right. And I will send it out in a follow-up email. The questionnaire is short, but what you say in it is going to be given to your mentor, and your mentor will use that to help you make a good plan for the academic year and beyond. Okay. You are also going to get a copy of your plan when you complete this form. So what I want you to do, best thing you can do right now is click on this form or copy it and put it somewhere that you're going to remember it, and then do it either now or later on today or before the 1st. All right. And again, I will send out a reminder. What it looks like. Okay. It looks like this. Let me share the screen with you. Okay. It looks like this. And, again, you need to be logged into your RCC email. It asks you for your name, your honors mentor, and what your status is in the honors program, what you're studying. It asks you which four-year schools you're currently planning to apply to. It's okay if you don't know, that's all right. It's okay if you're not planning to go to four-year school, if you're planning to start your own business or you're going to enlist in the military. We've had students do all those things, and that's wonderful too. What kind of extracurriculars do you want to engage with while at RCC, right? We want to help you with that, form those relationships. What are your concerns and what excites you? It's not going to take you very long, but it's a really good way for you to reflect on where you are in this process and to also help spark a conversation between you and your mentor, okay? All right. Now, this is where we get to Q&A. Oops, let me just go back here. Uh-oh, I totally failed at that. That's fine. We'll just, if you have questions, we've got answers for you. You are free to leave if you don't have any questions, but if I were you, I'd hang around a little bit. I did see a question in the chat that I just want to address right away. The question is about how to log into Focus to Career. So I'm actually going to go back to my internet browser and back to my RCC. Okay. Here at my RCC, remember, you've got all these little apps that are really important. One of them is Focus to. This person walking up a set of stairs. You're going to click on that, and you are going to have to create a username and password. I have a username and password, but you won't. So you're going to have to register. When you register, you'll have to put in this information. Okay. And you will likely get prompted at that point. I can't register because I've already registered, right? But you will likely be prompted to put in a passcode, okay? The passcode is pathways with an S. And again, this is information I've sent out. I will send it out again. So you'll get a reminder, but this is what you have to do. You have to create an account. It can be whatever login information you want it to be. It doesn't have to be attached to your RCC. But you want to create an account, log in, and do the assessments. They're kind of fun. They're asking you about what are your values, what are your goals, what are your interests, things like that. Okay, great. Yes, Dylan, everybody's going to get a recording of this, so not to worry. You can go ahead and leave if you need to, and there will be a recording sent out to everybody. Okay, the link will go out in a few days, maybe even tomorrow. Awesome. So let's hear your questions, everybody. Any question is a good one. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small. There are no dumb questions. Go nuts.
Where can I sign up for the Fall Fest? I didn't see the email.
Okay, it should have come to your RCC email, but if you didn't get it, I will forward it to you. Okay, so I'm going to make a note to forward that in the next email that I send out.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem. And actually, I think I might be able to help you with that right now. Hang on one second. I'm going to go on the website and just search Fall Fest. And I think there's, hang on one second. Here it is. I can actually do better. Here we go. Boom. Oh, good. Professor Jacobs put it in there too. So there's the Fall Fest page. You can RSVP there. So I will also include it in an email though. All right. What other questions do you have? And again, if you don't have questions and you don't want to stay, that's okay, but feel free to stay and listen, even if you don't have any burning questions right now. Yes, okay, go ahead, Matthew, I see your hand. It's a little hard because I've got 3 pages. So if you're raising your hand and you're on my 3rd page, you're not gonna show up. One thing you can do, Matthew, I'm gonna let you talk in just a second. You can go down to the reactions button and you can raise your hand. right, in Zoom, and that will actually catapult you to the first page. But Matthew, I saw you waving to me. Go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much. I was just wondering if there's a directory or a website where there's like a list of all the clubs I could join.
Yeah, great question. So let me do a little search there on RCC's site and see if I can pull that up for you. Sure thing, I can.
Should be under student involvement possibly.
There it is. And so there should be lots of information about student involvement there. Yep, great question. Awesome. There will be more information forthcoming about which clubs are being activated. Each semester, clubs have to reactivate themselves, and so there will be lots of information about that coming to your RCC email within a few weeks. Yeah.
And also there is something called Club Fest that usually happens about 2 or 3 weeks into the semester, and that's a great way to find out which clubs have activated and will be, running this year. So look for emails for Club Fest as well. I don't know if it's going to be virtual or in person, but that's also another great way to see what's, which clubs you want to join.
Oops. Thanks, Carol. Great point. So I'm looking at the chat. I'm seeing a few questions there. So one question was, where is new student orientation? Here is the page. Hopefully the college communicated that to you when you applied to RCC, but in case you don't have that link or you can't remember where it is, this is the page for new student orientation. I also see a student asked, if you are unsure whether or not you are transferring after this year, should you still go to the transfer seminar? Yes. If you think you might transfer, you should come to the transfer seminar. It might help you make up your mind. Right. And, again, it'll be an hour and a half. It'll be, kind of intense, but it'll be an hour and a half and you'll learn a lot. And then you can follow up with your mentor. I see Cynthia with your hand up. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was wondering about, you said downloading Blackboard on the phone. Is that just like a regular app? You just go on apps, or is that something you get through the RCC website?
Yeah, so it's an app. Lots of schools use Blackboard. So you're going to go to your app store and look up Blackboard. And then you will sign into it using your RCC credentials. So using the same login that you use for My RCC, you'll sign up for that. And it's a great way to make sure you're keeping track of everything on your phone. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. It's really, really good one. Yep. Eva's asking, when is the transfer seminar? So I haven't sent out this information yet. You're getting a sneak peek. The transfer seminar is in the evening on September 30th. I will send out lots of information about that, so that you can have access to that information when it's time. So expect more emails from me. I usually try to email you all at least once a week. Okay, I try not to email you more than once a week because that gets annoying, but I definitely email you once a week with lots and lots of great info. And Discord, yes, I try to put reminders in Discord, but it's no substitute for checking your email. So you've got to check your email. You can't just check Discord. Got to check your email. Yep.
And also the social media will have a lot of our events, RCC Honors on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. But again, always check your emails, but you should follow up. If everybody could just get online right after this meeting and, follow us on social media, then between social media, Discord, and your emails, you will all be in the know about what's happening.
Great. So I see someone has a question about new student orientation. It is a virtual orientation. So you can just, if you go to that page that I linked, you'll see that it's a virtual orientation and you can work through it yourself. So you're all set there. It is online. And Sarah, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Hello. I'm sorry if you mentioned this earlier. I just got a weird call, but I think it was a call marketer. You don't need to know that. Sorry. When was the transfer seminar going to be held? I'm sure you'll send an email, but just so I have it.
I will. And it's going to be on September the 30th. Yep. So
Okay,
the evening of September the 30th. Yep. And I will send out plenty of reminders between now and then. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, looks like we have a question about the deadline for getting the RCC ID card. I'm not aware of a deadline, but you can get the ID card. That's through student involvement, through the student involvement office on the second floor of the student union. If you have any questions about the ID card, let me really quickly pull up the email address of the person to ask. Just one second. His name is Mr. Michael Albin. He's a wonderful person, very kind. You can write to him with any questions about getting the ID card, but you can also go to student involvement on the second floor of the student union on campus. Okay, great. You're all asking awesome questions. These are really good questions. What else is on your mind? I remember someone asked about the library earlier. I can log into the library if you want me to. I'm happy to do that. Let me see if there are any questions before that, because I'm happy to go ahead and just show you what it looks like. I mean, no problem. But are there any questions before we get there? Oh, good. Thank you, Matthew, for clarifying that in the chat. I really appreciate it. That helps. And you know what? You're all already doing this. You're helping each other. I love that. Do that. Help each other. But when you don't know the answer, say, I don't know. Don't make it up, okay? And then go ask your mentor. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Sarah. All right, let me show you the library really quickly, and you can explore it at your leisure. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my RCC. Up here, you have this little icon, lots of books stacked together. That's the library. Okay, this is this is the library's homepage, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. First of all, there's some really cool things. So, for example, you can get free accounts at the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal for being a student. So you can get those publications for free. If you want, you can click on these links and follow the steps. If you have any problems, you can ask the librarians. Speaking of asking the librarians, one pretty bad joke I like to make is that people who are librarians don't get master's degrees in how to tell people to be quiet, right? Shh, right? That's not what they're there for, okay? That's their reputation, but that's not what they're there for. They have degrees in information science, how to find information. So you see this big old honking orange Ask Us button? They want you desperately to use it, all right? So if you have a question, you're home in your pajamas and you have a question, you can put your name and your question and start the chat, and you can get your question answered. My teacher asked me to find a scholarly source and I don't know where to start, right? I don't know, can I come to campus and get a book? I'm not sure. You can ask any question. So the theme of today, asking for help, make sure you ask the librarians all kinds of questions. Next thing, you can start here by searching for any topic that you'd like, okay? And if you type something in here and you're searching for everything, you see how this radio button is checked, it says search for everything. It's going to basically do a whole big search of everything the library has to offer and give you search results. But that's also not a very specific targeted search. So if you wanted to be more precise in your search, you would use this advanced search option, and then a new browser is going to pop up that makes it a little easier for you to search things. Now, in your English class, in your honors English class, you're going to go over how to use the library, and probably in other classes too, and you're going to go through that process. But just really quickly to give you an overview, you can search for things that are in the library catalog, meaning things that are both virtual and in person in our library. You can look only in the physical holdings, meaning only books or DVDs or things like that that we have in the actual library that are physical things you can touch. You can look up only articles. Course reserves are materials that professors have put on reserve for that course, so they're limited to the course that you're in. And then this is my favorite part. You can look for a book or an article through every SUNY library in the entire system, all the way from, Potsdam to Stony Brook, right? The whole range. And you can actually have books sent to you and you can get access to articles. So it's a really, we're powerful. RCC's library is small, doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. Very nice librarians, great space to study, but it doesn't have a lot of materials. But SUNY's library is huge. So you have a lot of power at your fingertips. What I would suggest, but looks like I'm getting some feedback from somebody. If you are not muted, would you mind muting yourself? Let me see. I'm getting some feedback that, yeah, thank you so much, whoever just did that. Awesome. What I would suggest is explore, explore. And one other thing I want to show you before we leave is that RCC, as a part of SUNY, also subscribes to a whole bunch of databases that have tons and tons of information. You can see the databases organized by subject. You can see them organized by title A to Z, okay? And if I organize them by subjects, there are all-purpose databases. There's databases about business and computers and education and history and all kinds of things, okay? And these databases, a lot of them include scholarly peer-reviewed articles, meaning articles that have been written by experts and reviewed and vetted by other experts, people with PhDs and advanced degrees, so that you know you're getting the best possible research. And a lot of your teachers will ask you to engage with these kinds of materials. So, you know, knowing about the databases is something you'll learn in English 103, but, you know, it's also good to explore on your own. There are also a whole bunch of, there's a list over here that's really helpful. Best dictionary in the world is the Oxford English Dictionary right here. You can fight me on that. I will win. And so, you know, use this, explore, ask, you know, and also ask your mentor if you're struggling with it. And we can connect you to the librarians who will help you. So I'm going to shut up and see if you all have any follow-up questions about the library or anything else that came to your mind. Let me see the chat. Let's see. How can you borrow a calculator from the library? Matthew, great question. I would ask the librarians. I don't know the answer. I don't know how they're doing that right now. So I would ask the librarians. Just click on that little Ask Us tab and boom, there's your question. If you don't hear back, today's Wednesday, if you don't hear back by Friday, email your mentor and we will find out for you. Okay? Awesome. Great question. Really glad you asked that. Good. Okay. Who else has a question? All right. So here's the deal. We're going to sign off for now. I will follow up soon, probably by tomorrow, with an email with this recording, with a lot of other resources in it. Your classes start next Wednesday. So if you have any questions, if you need to change your schedule, if something's unclear to you, just make sure you're reaching out. I am so excited that you're starting a new year in the honors program. I am really looking forward to working with each of you and learning from you. Thank you so much for being here today. Mentors, thank you for being here today. Carol, Raffaele, thank you so much for everything you added. Have a really wonderful week. Make sure you get some rest, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the new year. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.